So it's Monday, we're in the office, got a busy week ahead of us. Had a couple of sort of production meetings, bits and bobs this morning, had a few phone calls early doors, and then suddenly realised we hadn't filmed anything all morning. So yeah, we got back to our weekly leaders meeting. We haven't done it the last couple of weeks. We've had different team members off on holiday and that sort of stuff. So we're going to be heading out for that about 11 o'clock. We try and do that weekly, just sort of kicks the week off Monday morning, look over the KPIs from the previous week, share with the sort of leadership team where we're at, where we're a bit weaker, where we need to be a bit stronger, and then look at sort of strategic priorities coming up for the week ahead that they can then go away and push into their teams and work together to try and solve those challenges. We've got a few important bits of paperwork to do for a project this afternoon. We've got a meeting all around our invoices and reporting on invoices and sort of trying to make some system improvements for our accounts department. And then we've got a little meeting, Teams call with one of our software partners who just want to discuss our journey and use Totally Branded as a little bit of a case study. So we're jumping in on that. And then I've got to document some new role specs, so some almost like job descriptions if you like, but a little bit more in depth around what are the deliverables, what does good look like in that role, because we've got a few new people moving into new roles, and we need to really be prepped for that and make sure that they've got all of their documents and their KPIs predefined before they join the role, so they can really set strategic goals, and before they move they can tell us how they feel they're going to achieve those. So that's exciting. So that's pretty much Monday and how it's looking. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be like 28 degrees today. So Anya's not looking forward to the heat, and so we need to get an air conditioning unit in here. And we'll see where the day goes. I'd like to work on that thank you gift quite soon before it loses the moment. Just so we can start to research some options on that. I think that would be good. Nice. I did tell the gym that we would have that done by sort of end of May. But if you can research some options, and then I can have a look at it in tomorrow's meeting with you, and we can go, yeah, just go for that one. Because the laptop and everything for him's all sorted, isn't it? Yeah. So it's just literally sort out his accommodation, sort out his mobile phone, and then we'll be away. Yeah. Can you put in my diary to do at some point this week? I need in Manchester, I think. Yeah. Okay. So if you can just block out like half an hour for me to have a proper sit down and just think about what he's doing and plan out a bit of a timeline, and then I can let the guys know what he's doing when, and they can book.
Actually, I'll tell you where it is.
I was looking for the red book.
This book.
What the hell?
Trev, why have you got those kind of books?
Elderly appropriate, is it?
Elderly appropriate.
Right, again.
I was just coming to help you with your Frankie machine.
Yeah, could you put them in on his desk for me? Not the top one, just that. Yeah, thank you.
What about this? When are you going to do this?
I'm going to do that today.
Okay,
but no, yeah, but that's why I haven't done it, because is it just me, or is there most of the stuff missing?
No, there was.
Because it looked a bit poor.
Right, there's two things.
All right, will you get one of them to run it up to me?
But you want to position it.
I want to positionise.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right, I will do.
Lovely job, lovely job.
I'll be getting fan mail and all sorts.
So Trev's back. He's back in the land of the living.
Yeah, Trev's
Everyone's
back.
been missing you, Trev. All the viewers have been missing you. They've all been saying, has there been a walkout from the finance director?
Yes.
How's it feel to be back?
Oh, over the moon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you missed us all?
I've got 1,548 emails.
No, they're all junk. They're all spam mail. Don't pretend that they're proper emails. So it's good to have you back. That's the main thing.
I'm so glad I came back now and on film.
I think we need to start putting more value on what we're doing with our hours in the day. You are very soon going to have a supervisor working under you. You've already got one. You're supposed to have two, but you don't use them. And we need to start appreciating what's been my biggest annoyance this week. So you fill it out on a Friday, and then it's ready for the meeting. Ideally, you can OneDrive share that to me on a Friday at 4 o'clock, so that I can have the weekend to process it. Then we can come. That will make these meetings more efficient. First thing was, I think production have made huge improvements since we implemented those meetings. I think that what that's taught me is that our best players, from a culture point of view, over the last few months have started to get really frustrated where we're tolerating mediocre people. And now we've done it, you've proved you can do it, you've proved you can do it. We need to be really, because we're a company that's obsessed with growing, obsessed with progression. If you're not like that and your attitude is stinks, we can't carry you. There is a company out there for you, but it's not here. I know you've mainly been pushing for this for a long time, but you said you wanted somebody doing sort of product and data analytics. Look, it's basically going to be called a product manager, and the vision is that we will have one day have multiple of these, and they all have their own areas, so like drinkware manager, bags manager, etc. And the other thing is retention. So
we've got a meeting this afternoon before he tells me it's cancelled.
you should be championing customer experience, because that is the future. So I want you to take the lead on this extension as your first little project. You'll have my support, you'll have Anya's support, but I want you to take the lead on managing the contractors and stuff like that.
It's as simple as that, because what works for accounts won't work for sales.
Yeah.
What works for sales won't work for accounts.
All right, well, let's just get straight in.
Yeah.
I just need to know now, first, if ideally, how it currently works between you two with refunds.
Yeah.
What information are you not being given that you need?
Depends how quick you want to make the process. If you want to make the
As quick as possible, yeah.
Okay, well,
Because there's only one person that does refunds now. So, what information do you need, Trev, that you're not currently getting?
I then send it back to him.
Yeah, so that's stupid. So let's just.
To a room.
Okay, so Mitch will make sure you ask Mitch, and he'll give you a demo on that, because that's really important, because that's another bottleneck. As long as we got all that from your point of view, is there anything else that would make your life easier in terms of refunds? If Mickey can nail those things, that should smoothen things out from a processing point of view.
I spent most of the last week talking to clients in the US.
Wow.
Week before it was New Zealand. And
But are you putting any effort into marketing over there, or is that just coming like organically? It's been one of them days today, yeah. Just meeting after meeting after meeting, just trying to solve challenges and trying to keep things moving. It's just like, this is a big challenge, that's a big challenge, and just trying to go into every meeting upbeat and positive after the last one. It's always fun. But no, it's good. We shouldn't complain. We're definitely heading in the right direction. It is just growing pains, and just, my role has evolved and changed from what it was even a year ago, and I think it's just trying to keep up with that as an individual, but also as a company. So no, it's good, mate, and things are going in the right direction, and we've got an amazing team, which is always helpful. Great leadership team, but yeah, it's just every day is just solving the next big challenge, and the only constant that I've found, it's just everything's always changing. So you solve a problem, we will take 10 steps forward one week, and then you come in on the Monday, and another areas took 10 steps back, and it's just constant change, and it's only because we're constantly pushing forward. So just as you solve something, it breaks, so it's just learning to love chaos, I think, is really what I'm trying to do. You could get that one over the line. I think he'd be a good, and it works for them. I think he could be quite an advocate. It's just managing expectations, and just and just explain. I mean, it's software, right? They don't need to see you. They just need to present the screen. Oh, definitely. Without 100%. Allowed us to move at a rate we would not necessarily have been able to move at, because I do believe, and don't get me wrong, we are feeling it now. If we haven't got great people and great systems that can keep up, you might as well not bother. The prime example is the accounts, right? So we used to have to, every time we got an order in, we would have to wait to get somebody in accounts to raise a pro forma invoice on Xero, email it across. And if they were really busy and there was 10 people all needed an invoice at the same time, but the accounts person was out at lunch, we might have to wait an hour. If I now raise a job in seconds, there's a pro forma invoice generated by no one but the computer with all the information, with a payment link to pay by Stripe, and it automatically generates them a confirmation that they've received the payment. That out of it, and it's just speed. I think you're underselling yourself.
Not in the same arena.
Yeah.
What would you class it?
Full business management. Have you ever looked at like Google Search Console and had a look at what are the main keywords that you're being searched for that they're then landing on your page by? Like brings in the most traffic?
Yeah.
So for me, I would say if you could get the videographer to go with you or Tim or whoever to literally to their site, create 10 videos, 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 10 vide a video of them, you know, a promo video in their facility, showing their staff in the warehouse, picking the furniture, like, get it chopped into like a minute-long video on Facebook,
Right.
and boost that. It's very cheap. It's not a lot of money at all on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
Boost it and specifically target business owners and senior people, which this is all can be done, by the way, in the furniture sector. And I guarantee that, I'm talking from experience, I guarantee if I was, because it's so bloody clever, that stuff, that if somebody's been talking or looking at, or even a month ago, furniture software, that will, on a Friday night, Saturday, that will flag up in their Facebook feed. They won't be able to help themselves but watch it if it's catch it, because it's, I know them, they're a competitor, furniture. That's their secret sauce. I'll be shocked if that doesn't really bring in some good qualified leads where people are like, you don't need to sell this to me, Ewan, because I know that so-and-so's using it, so just get me on it. Your preferred videographer. You find, they're in, I don't know, Ireland, say. Find a local videography company and say, here's a link to one we've done before. I want you to mirror this kind of style. Give me a price to go in and make it. They're 2 miles down. You're not paying unnecessary mileage. I honestly really believe that the video for you, in what you're trying to capture, those kind of leads, if customer sees that competitors do it, it sells itself, that you don't even need to prove it. They're like, oh, well, if they're using it and they're really successful and they're flying, it clearly works. Why would you not want to help other business owners? I don't get that, personally. So, it's Tuesday, and we are on the way to work. Ralph is here. Hello, Ralph.
Say good morning.
He says, guys, I want to be in bed. So, good day yesterday. Felt like we moved a few things forward. Generally pretty positive. Few things, and you think, oh, why are we still having to deal with that? You know, these sort of issues and challenges, little things. But I think when you're in quite rapid growth, maybe, or quite, you know, fast pace, and you're moving at speed, I think that it's easy to miss the foundations sometimes. Little things that probably should have been sorted, fixed, or dealt with maybe a year ago in the systems and the processes. They only really force you to fix them when when the chips are down and something's gone wrong, because it's too easy to just ignore it and think, oh, well, that's not a fire today, we'll leave that. The good thing is as we're getting bigger, we're able to bring in more resources and more people who have that as certain areas of the business as their sole focus. And so things happen nowadays that previously would have only happened if I'd got involved, and now they just happen proactively, and people sort of are just looking proactively to solve things and solve challenges. And I really think that that's going to help us go to another level soon. So yeah, got a good day today. Got a few meetings. I got a meeting with the bank this morning. A couple of sort of videos to record for our training platform online. What else is happening? We've got our monthly financial meeting this afternoon, which kind of takes up the whole afternoon. So that's looking at all of our cash flow, all of our balance sheet, our management accounts, literally line by line. We want to go through and analyse every single thing, because you wouldn't believe the stuff that comes out in and out of the account, and stuff that we buy and pay for that you think, wow, what is that? You don't even know where it's come from or why. So going through it every month we seem to find things that surprise us, and it puts things into perspective. It's easy in the day to go, oh yeah, get that sorted, yeah, buy that, sign that off, but we having that monthly management accounts where we sit down and go through line by line and say, are we on track with what we planned, what we budgeted for, and if we're not, why not? And then going away and putting a plan in place with teams to fix it makes a big difference. So that's today. Is it easy to detect then? Or do you not know till it goes under the machine? I was good at Grazina to get the spring cleaner out last night. Does look a lot better, to be fair. Oh, that Christ knows. She's obviously been wall climbing, isn't she? The real goal is just to make sure by Friday night when we leave, that's all blitzed, because he needs that area to work in. The what?
The blue trolley broke yesterday.
Not the blue trolley. That's been here for years. Why aren't we using the £1,000 worth of trolleys that we bought not long ago. Right, so what, we bought 2 more McAllister trolleys. Can I have more trolleys than bloody there is of us lot? It's all good.
Well, thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to speak about this today.
No worries. But yeah, I mean, it gives you an idea of the kind of spend that we're doing on that sort of stuff. It's predominantly promotional merchandise and branded clothing. So yes, good morning. Been a productive one actually. Had made a lot of progress this morning. Done the production team huddle first thing. Had a one-to-one with my assistant, just catching up on some projects she's heading up on, like insurances and things like that, and trying to lock all those things down. And then took myself out of usual office to get away from distractions, all the stuff that's going on. And I've come back, had a Teams meeting with the bank. They had some great things to propose, which I really was impressed by that. Looking to now do some due diligence on that and push that forward. And then I had some real deep thinking time to try and implement some leveraged, some leveraged kind of efficiencies. So I had a Teams meeting yesterday with our after sales manager, finance team around our refunds and credit note procedure. And what we realised is it's become a big frustration as we've scaled. We would, not usually very often you'd get customers, refunding and needing credits and stuff like that for late deliveries, missed shipments. It could be hundreds of different reasons. Somebody's just decided they don't want the product anymore. And as we are not yet an e-commerce business, obviously that's quite a manual process. We have to raise credit notes because it's all B2B. So, there's a lot more involved than just clicking refund. Anyway, we come up with a really good process, and we sort of sat there, and I just think it's so easy to throw extra labour and energy in a problem and people's time. And I think that, what I've done is spent 45 minutes breaking it down after all the feedback I got yesterday. Okay, how can I automate this? How can I make this smoother so we can be more efficient with our process there, rather than just easy to say, oh, we'll all have to work a bit harder. And I don't think it needs to be. Well, freeing that time back up for the teams to have headspace to think and do other things. So really pleased with that. And yeah, just implemented a load of automations, made that a lot smoother and sped that up. And then I've just recorded a couple of Loom videos which I've now pinged off and shared with the team. We've got someone who works remote. We've got a couple of people that are remote. We've got our internal finance, we've got the order success and sales manager, who are all in separate buildings, separate locations. For me to go and show one-on-one that process to people 5 times, I would have wasted hours. I've just recorded a couple of 5-minute Loom videos, ping them out. Everybody can watch them instantly in their own time when they're ready, and they're never going to go anywhere. They're on file, they can bookmark them, save them. It's just such leverage time. I mean, I've saved in the past month 6 hours of meeting time, just in recording time. That's without travelling and getting into unnecessary conversation, in screen recording, a Loom video and pinging it off. And it's such leverage time because a lot of them are training modules, training videos and things that people can keep forever. And I don't have to speak about it and show it again. So if you're not using Loom for your running your business, your team, just one big thing, bloody start using it. So it's Wednesday, we are at the desk, coffee, journal, getting the thoughts out of the brain, big priorities of the day. What does good look like? What will I be happy if I can achieve? And asking myself some of those questions, reviewing my 90-day plan. How are we getting on? Is everything I'm doing today working towards the bigger vision and where we're trying to go, and not just getting caught in things that I shouldn't be getting involved in and shouldn't be wasting time on. So good, I've got some good stuff going on today. Got a few calls. Got a meeting with the web team, really exciting. We're literally like 10 days away, hopefully, from launch. So we're really getting to the fun bits now. Got a meeting, coffee meeting with our ops manager, Cody, just looking at the way his role is changing a little bit and some of the sort of more strategic things that he's going to be taking on. So that's quite exciting, just looking at that, and he wants to catch up on a few projects that he's working on, and a few things he wants to propose, some changes. So that'd be good. Then I've got my catch up with my sort of business mentor coach. So you know, it's very easy. I'm always holding our teams to account. I'm coaching our guys and girls, and I'm making sure that, you know, I'm always driving them forward and making, you know, giving them a position to be better than they were yesterday, and making sure that we're constantly driving forward and holding someone to account. But I'm very conscious that, you know, small business owners don't usually have anyone holding them to account, and so I've got a business coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it, who I check in with fortnightly, and you know, he makes sure that I'm held to account on things that I said I was going to do 2 weeks before, and he makes sure we're on track, and he kind of prizes information out of my brain to make sure that we're, you know, thinking clearly, and when I'm spinning lots of plates. So be with him for a couple of hours, just prizing on all of that sort of stuff. And I've got a few software things to do. Then I've got a meeting internally with a chap who's, we're potentially going to be moving departments and making some changes there. Then I've got some calls around some property insurance, and then that'll be the end of the day. It takes up to about 6 p.m. Head back, freshen up, and then probably crack through all the day's emails and all the day's you know, lower level bits and bobs that I need to respond to and approve of an evening. I mean, another warm one, beautiful weather at the moment. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, better weather out there than it was when I was in Morocco a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, pretty mad. But yeah, no, feeling good. We are definitely making progress. And yeah, just, you know, each day at the moment is definitely not without its fair share of challenges. And we've got a lot of real obstacles that are preventing us going further. But I'm feeling optimistic that this is all for the good. I think we've been over this a lot, but recruitment is, I don't know, I think I've realised in the last few weeks that more than ever, like, our success or plateauing of our success is going to be predicated on finding just A-star players. More than a handful of really great people. Yeah. And I just need to, we've done the traditional, you know, 250 quid if you can refer someone, you know, but I don't know, do we need to be proactively going and hunting people? I don't know, because it's clearly I mean, the thing is, right, if we wanted to be patient, which I'm not, then we could wait, because clearly over the course of a year we found some incredible, amazing people that really fit our values and everything, but I don't want to wait a year to find another handful of great people. And they say you kiss a few frogs. We've kissed our fair few frogs. Right. I don't want to kiss any more.
So yeah, okay. So
I just want to. We have a blueprint of what amazing people look like. Now I just think we need to try and use that.
I think there's a couple of things there then, potentially. So one is the attraction process. How do we attract that? So we know what good looks like now. We've defined that. Then there's the attraction process. So where do those good people come from?
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's also a little bit of let's just make sure that your recruitment process is doing a good job of weeding out the people who are I think I always think there's a place for B players, but weeding out the C and D players effectively.
Yeah.
So you're not taking second best.
We had a very quick success of getting to a better. It's still not good, but it's better. Yeah. And I'd say it's within a few percent. We're making change. It's getting better, but it's going to be a long process, I think, because there's a lot of bigger problems like systems and processes that are needed, which we're working on in the background. The plan was to try and get the ball by the horns and have a bit more control by inspiring and training and making people care, rather than just us hoping for the best. And I feel that that's working.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the numbers week on week.
So how can we convince...
It's more he's out of his comfort zone, and that's why he's putting a barrier up saying, I don't think it's worth it, If I did it, I think you can overcomplicate those things, because it is just, these are very short-term
Yeah.
things on just a check-in, good yesterday, bad yesterday lessons,
Yeah.
look ahead for the next 8 hours ahead of us, any fires that we need to be ready with the fire extinguisher to put out.
Absolutely.
And how can we rally around to help each other.
And what's Cody's view on what needs to be in that meeting?
Haven't asked him.
Okay. Might that be an opportunity to engage him a little bit?
Yeah.
Just in it. Here's how I run it.
Yeah.
What do you think's working?
Yeah.
Something that you change.
Yeah.
What's causing that?
Well, I need a day to dig really deep, because I get one version from Ben, I get a version from the team, and then there's my version. So it needs some serious digging into it. The problem is now it's at a size where there's so many moving parts, and it's not like it used to be where I knew what was going on everywhere. It feels like I go places now and we're spending money on stuff that I didn't even know we were spending money on. Okay. And you know, when it first started happening and there was all this stuff going on, I thought, oh, this is great. This is good. People are, but I don't know. There's, I think we're refunding sometimes 15, 20 grand a month in refunds because we've either messed stuff up or we've delivered late or whatever. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't had enough time to reflect, but all I know is that we're nowhere near where we should be. And obviously, you could argue, well, yeah, Tay, you're going to have more refunds on a bigger turnover.
Yeah.
So there is that.
But percentage-wise, we've got targets, right?
On refunds, no, we've not got refund targets.
Okay.
We never thought we'd need it, but we probably do. And then I'm going to guess and hedge a bet that there's stuff in the fixed costs and monthly overhead that's getting and creeping up too high.
Yeah.
So that's what I need to dig into and go, what's going on there, and so on and so forth. We've got 2 sites, we've got insurances, and we're getting bigger and bigger. We've invested a lot in. I think Ben said to me we've spent 300,000 this year in the first half of the year just on investing in equipment, infrastructure, computers, desks, just like heavily. And he said, look, Tay, it may be that it's boom, and it is that like hockey stick effect they call it, don't they? And it's because in some areas, although this is what bugs me, it should be, in hypothetically speaking, we've got more infrastructure and more people and teams, and some areas should technically be overstaffed, but yet they don't seem to ever be telling me that. Oh, we're so struggling. I'm thinking, this is supposed to be like this is supposed to be the cushy phase, because we're supposed to be ready for peak on the second half of the year, so we can really go for it. Yeah.
I've got a model of business growth stages over there. I've got the cushy stage on there. So what would it take to stop worrying? What would you need for you to be able to either decide to take action or...
Well, I think I need to get clarity on why. Where exactly is it at, and what levers would I need to pull to change? So is it that, if we can get on top of our errors at the beginning of the process, i.e. what we're selling, when we're selling, what we're promising customers, if we can get on top of that to cut down the refunds, then maybe that cutting down that 20, 30 grand's worth of refunds a month might just tip us back where we need to be. I do feel like I probably need to spend, the managers keep saying this to me regularly, but I just feel like I'm always fully booked. But I feel like I probably could do with spending a whole day at least, if not 2 days, if not a week, in every single department, understanding what's going on, what are we doing well and where are we, because it's easy to sit in these meetings and with people and hear it, but unless you're in there, I feel like you're not going to spot it. But imagine I tried to spend an area, I'd have to sort of book myself out for 3 weeks.
Okay, so what's this worth to you though? Because we just worked out that this is going to do a procurement audit. Yeah. So are you getting the best deals on all the things you're paying for? Yeah. And that might be a very worthwhile exercise, because you have spent and you've invested. Have you got the best finance deals on things? Are you getting the best utilities bills, etc., etc.? Yeah. all that stuff, and really try and shave off some cost there, because if you shave off 10% there, that's going to make you more than 10% back in money.
Yeah, because I've got a consistent process. That's one thing. Our onboarding, like the online sort of university as we call it, then the shadowing and everything, we're regimented as anything on that now. I think a couple of people have said to me, Taylor, you could argue it's a bit too much, which I'm thinking that's quite a good thing. Because normally we were at a point where when we trained and onboarded people, it was nowhere near enough.
Okay.
So once he's got that, once he has somebody to support, I do feel like the conversion rate will increase because we'll be able to be more proactive with looking at what we're doing.
I think that's one of our next steps is actually to start getting, once you've got the team in place, the excuses and the chaos.
Yeah, diminish then. Yeah.
So we should then be in a position to get in control of things. The bits which feel a bit out of control at the moment.
Yeah.
Get in control of them, and then really work on. Okay, so let's work on.
Block a day, and I just want to ring customers, and I just want to some customers that have been working with us for a while or giving us orders, and some that we've lost the orders to, and I just want to pick up the phone and say, hi, I'm the founder of this company. I'm just genuinely interested. Thank you for supporting us. Why is it that you use us and not someone else? And or why didn't you use us and use someone else? And just get a ton of feedback from the horse's mouth, which is, and find out exactly where we're good and where we're not good. Because like we said earlier, my perception is this could be absolute rubbish. That was something I thought of yesterday. I think the things I said yesterday need to change to get us from where I currently are to where we are was we are not proactive with our things. So we have hundreds and hundreds of leads coming in a day. We don't have any follow-up process, in my opinion. Not a proper one. Not where we get on the phone and say, how, did you get that? Oh, you need this by tomorrow. Just so you know, I know you've not bought merchandise before, but there's a process where we need to get your artwork together. So it's not just like order on Amazon. We need to, have you got that far? And coaching customers to advise them on the process rather than just hoping. And then what we get a lot of the time is people don't realise how long it takes to get the order proof done. By the time they come back to us, it's too late. We've missed the date.
Okay. So
my biggest thing, I've just realised recently, I don't know, we bought some fair play to Mitch and Cody. They have found some amazing people.
Yeah.
Like some of the people that have joined us in the last few months, I'm jaw dropped. Like they are just amazing.
Where have they come from?
That's the problem. I can't work out where they've come from, and I can't find out where we find more amazing people.
Have you? What analysis has been done so far?
What in terms of why they're good?
Where they've come from? Where you found them? Did they apply from a particular?
They've always. So just finished up with my coaching session, which was really good. It's bloody hot in this car. It is bloody warm today. Really good. Just looking at some of our biggest challenges, as an organisation at the moment. Finding amazing people. We're so lucky. We have some incredible people that have joined our team. But what I've realised in the last few months is that really our success is going to be, going to the next level. Is going to be predicated on working with incredible people who have got a lot of drive, a lot of ambition, and they're just amazing humans. And so I'm on a quest to find really great people. So that's one thing we were discussing, the traits and what to, our strategy for that. We were discussing some profitability problems, in terms of, our margins are just not where they once were, and I think that's, a growth thing. And I don't want to be one of these companies that takes their eye off the ball of our profitability, where we're just chasing an ego of grow, revenue, and I don't want to fall into that trap. And we're tentering on that line a bit too much for our liking. So we're just harnessing, putting ourselves back in a little bit, looking at where we're buying, how we're buying, where's the leaking tap. And I think we've got a couple of leaking taps. So I'm going to get back and tighten them up, looking at a few of those and a few conversations I need to have around that. Yeah, just looking at how our leadership meetings should be run, trying to not get us too caught up in operations, more sort of higher level strategic. What's the greater good of the organisation? We need, when we go into those, we need the leaders to come not with their department hats on, but with their greater good of the whole organisation hats on. So, yeah, really good meeting. Absolutely boiling now. So yeah, and now we're going to head back. We've got a load of sort of operational stuff to look at this afternoon when we get back. Some system improvements I said I'd look into exploring on making some improvements to our software and stuff. So I'm going to look at that for a bit. And then I have a final meeting about 4:30 about some internal move arounds. And then there'll probably be a ton of emails and bits and pieces to go through and some calls to jump on to wrap up the evening tonight. And yeah, another day done, but a good day today. Very much future on the business, strategising, coming up with ideas, supporting people. So yeah, good day. Onwards and upwards. So we just got back and Trev's got some good news for us. He has solved the court summons. So he spoke to him and he's put it to bed. He's crushed the case. So it just shows you the importance
Stick
of...
with Trev and you'll go far. You won't go to court.
Well, there is an argument to say that if you hadn't have been on holiday, they might not have took us to court.
Oh, let's cancel.
But, so yeah, no, it just shows you have great people, and we're really lucky that we've got good people, because if I'd have dealt with them, I probably would have got really annoyed and frustrated with sitting on the phone, because I'm sure it wasn't a 5-minute ordeal. So happy days, one challenge gone and quashed. And if you don't know about it, last week's episode we got a court summons, but Trev has solved it. Onwards and upwards. So it's Friday, the sun is shining and we are in the car. Yesterday was one of my most disastrous filming days. Pretty much the whole day I didn't film. It was probably the most busy day of meetings I've had for a very long time. It seemed I literally had about, I think I counted 10 meetings. Some of them are only 20 minutes, but it really took its toll on me yesterday, and I didn't even have time each time in between to make sure I filmed certain meetings to capture some stuff. So Thursday was basically a write-off, and then the one little meeting that I did capture yesterday at the end there was no sound on because I didn't turn the microphone on. So disaster, but we move on. I was on the way back from the gym this morning and I stumbled across a Facebook post where this amazing guy from Swaffham he's got like a haulage company and he's been doing trips to Ukraine. And there was some photos of like just like what is going on out there and the state of everything, and it just made me want to cry looking at it. There was like these beautiful little dogs, cradled in people's arms. They've obviously, whatever the hell they've done with flooding the place over there. And I think that I've just been a bit blind to it all. We got involved last year in a campaign and we raised tens of thousands of pounds with the help of these people, and they were basically we printed a load of tote bags, and they came up with just a creative like support Ukraine design, and we did all that and we funded it all, and then they went around the UK and was selling them and whatever partnership with us at all these fairs and stuff, and all the proceeds went to animal welfare and helping all the animals and everything left behind. So anyway, this guy is driving this weekend to Ukraine with a lorry full of everything, full of aid, first aid kits, paracetamol, food, tins of food, dog food, everything, just to try and help. And seeing those photos made me really emotional, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go to Tesco. First thing, I messaged the guys on Facebook and they said, yeah, you're just in time, you can get some stuff. So I've cleared my first 8:30 meeting and I'm going straight to Tesco, and we're gonna get as much as we can and we're going to take it down to there and try and do something. And I just hope that a nice family and some little dogs get a day's food out of it, or get some support from it. So, and then we've got a busy day out and about on the road today, and so I will try and film the day. So, good morning so far. We grabbed a load of bits and dropped them off to the great guys that are doing the Ukraine trip this weekend. Managed to, me and Zoe raided all of our sort of old sort of samples cupboard, and we managed to find loads of spare beanie hats, t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, loads of stuff. So we managed to get loads of clothing and bits together as well, which was great. So she gave me a hand with that. She's a star. Got loads of bits and bobs from Tesco, dropped all that off, that was good. Had a catch up with Anya on some bits she's sorting out for me. Then I've just come out of my solicitors. Feel like I've signed my life away to hundreds of sheets of paper, my hand hurts, on a project that we're working on at the moment, so that's good. Done that, and then I'm now heading to a meeting around some trying to sort out some funds and some finances for our property expansion, and the second site for Totally Branded in our growth that's coming up. So we just keep running out of space. So we're working on that at the moment, and hopefully that will all be sorted pretty sharpish. So yeah, and so we need to get over there now, and then from there on to where are we going after that? And then after that we are going over to meet the sales team, and we are taking them for their target hitters lunch for the guys and girls that smashed their sort of KPI targets in the month of May. And we're going to have a really nice lunch and a drink with them to celebrate their success. Then back to the office and a couple of little catch-ups with team members and bits and pieces to do. Before we know it, it'll be the weekend. So yeah, off we go. So, wrapping up another week. That is Friday done. Once again, didn't catch much. It's just so difficult, it's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be to capture all the best bits of my day on my own. So it just makes you realise that hopefully, people, it still continues to grow and have an impact and feel like it's worth doing, creating this content and documenting our journey. Because I do think that, if we had somebody that could help video and capture the best moments of every day, I think it would be really helpful. So, because yeah, we had some really good meetings today out on the road looking at the future. So around sort of our expansion in terms of property and trying to get extra space and trying to look at the best ways to structure that and get those kind of deals over the line. So we did that, and then had a really nice afternoon with the target hitters from May. So it was a nice little group of us there. We had a lovely lunch. Did that. Just was talking all things, success and, the future, different ideas and, the highs and the lows with the team. It was funny when you look back at, years previous and how things have changed. Some people that were, been in at the lunch and stuff, they haven't been here that long and they're smashing it out of the park. But, it's interesting to get their perspective on things where they've come in newer and they've worked in other companies before and hearing their kind of experiences, so that was interesting. But yeah, do you know what? I feel incredibly grateful this afternoon. I wouldn't say, like amazing week in terms of like everything, but just a really good week where we've really it's felt like we've pushed a lot forward. And moved a lot forward, but the biggest thing for me is that I just feel so proud of this team. The senior team this week as well, the stuff that they are taking on, driving forward, running with and handling, they're doing a much better job than me, you know. So the stuff that they're cracking on with, and I just so proud really more than anything. And what it's doing is it's making it's just like a flywheel, because as they're taking more ownership on and progressing things forward, and they're having that freedom to just do that, it's freeing me up to run faster with bigger plans, like, you know, expanding buildings, you know, looking at the way we can grow at a higher level, you know, getting like impossible things over the line, or stuff that you know, a few years ago I would have thought would have been impossible to get over the line. I'm now having those meetings and those conversations and getting big stuff that could hugely catapult us to another level. They're the kind of conversations, meetings and time that I'm spending. You know, acquisitions, we're in talks on acquisitions, you know, expanding our sites, you know, much bigger things that will just overnight take us from here to there. And the team are just working so closely with me on that now, you know. And our new managers and stuff that are rising up through the ranks, you know, they just blow me away. So I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful for, you know, when I sit in the car today and I just, you know, I see all the emails and I see all the stuff that's just happening, and I just think, wow. You know, stuff that the guys are running with, handling and dealing with and taking lead on, it just amazes me. So yeah, wrapping up a very productive week, exciting week. Next week we've got quite a bit going on. We're in Manchester for the first few days. We've got some more new people joining the business. I'm attending a networking breakfast. We're spending some time in All the Success. I've got a lunch meeting with another branding company that, you know, would be really interesting to get their perspective on how they do things. Next week's going to be a good week. It's exciting. We've got some good stuff going on. Our website's going to be getting closer than ever next week to launch. We're literally 3 weeks away. So yeah, brilliant week, and we go again next week.